to be repeating in our economy. On that note, sir, I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Combo East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And I would like to commend the committee for the wonderful job that they have done. But it seems like the report is limited only to the agricultural sector or producers. And to promote the objective, one of the objectives is to promote the consumption of locally produced goods in the country. That is laudable, but where are the policies to promote, the production of those goods? For example, in the Gambia, we have about 250 kilometers of fresh water, and it is irony. You will go to a supermarket or in the shops. Most of the goods that we import, the raw materials are produced here. What are we doing to promote those industries? For example, you enter a shop, they are selling cornflakes, and we are producing corn. So what do we do as a country to industrialize, venture into industrialization so that we can be food self-sufficient? And you go to a shop in the Gambia, like this potato powders, you will see them. This tomatoes as well, tomato puree as well. So there is a lot of things that needs to be done, and that has to do with policies. And also, you can see that the people are really ready to engage into this kind of activities, but do they have the facilities? No. Like the member for Woolly has said, production, we should link it to a market. So that, for example, now if you go to our markets, our streets are overwhelmed with women who are on the streets selling vegetables. This should be linked to a market. So why did I say that this is limited only to agricultural produce? In the Gambia, have we forgotten other industries like the carpentry industry? Look at the furniture that we are using, even in our homes, in the schools, in the hospitals, in our institutions. They are all imported. How about our local furniture that are produced in this country? So this needs to be looked at. Even the clothing industry as well. These are areas that needs to be looked at, and it can produce a lot of revenue for the country. And on that note, I thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Serekunda. And I invite the Honorable Member for Full Benefit.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I will really want to thank the Select Committee of Trade for doing this wonderful job. Honorable Speaker, I want to take the committee to the Songhai initiative, where they talk about the importance of Songhai Center, that it was Benin, and the project is purposely designed on training young people to reduce youth unemployment and poverty, especially in the rural areas. Honorable Speaker, I would love the committee at least to put in the recommendation that any student that graduated in Songhai Center should at least be employed by Agriculture Ministry, either under this, because some students always graduate at Songhai Center. After graduating, they never have job. They don't used to have even grant, or they find it very difficult to have money to start their own business. Some of them, after graduating at Songhai Center, they always stayed like that. Some Gambians will go up to Songhai in Benin. After graduating, they will come back without job. So at least in the recommendation, let them consider that agriculture sector to be considering our youths who always acquired knowledge at Songhai Center. Honorable Speaker, the committee also elaborated on the challenges that they have, general challenge on the competition with the importers. That is the main problem our local producers normally have here. Even vegetable producers, they always have the same problem that Gambians producers always have challenges. They always compete with the importers. And many a times they face market glut. The product we have in the Gambia here are already ready to sell in the Gambia, whereas Gambians will prefer to buy goods outside Gambia, which they normally import to the country better than theirs. I think there should be a policy that needs to help our local producers here, so that they will put a time whereby they can stop importers to bring certain goods here, so that they can buy our own local produce before having market glut here. Honorable Speaker, I think the committee forgot about the land tenure system and land ownership. Also, I think we need to put something whereby they can help our farmers, because especially women, they find it very difficult to own a land in the Gambia here. These are something you need to consider. Sometimes they will clear land, start working, somebody else will come and collect the land from them. That is the main problem we have also. And seed multiplication, I wish Gambia.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Fonyi Refet. And I invite the Honorable Member for Jara West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me also use this opportunity to thank the committee through the mover, Honorable Banjul North. Honorable Speaker, as I always say, data is very, very important. We have seen these producers are complaining of others importing flour when they have enough at their production sites. I think what should be done, these people should have a link by themselves. Let them be connected. Let them know how much they can produce. And also we see what is consumed in flour in this country. Then the ministry will come up with a policy to guide them and help them. But if we leave our producers and concentrating in importing from outside, we leave our own, which is more healthy and more affordable for us. But people prefer, sometimes I wonder how us as people living in Africa, how we think of something that is brought from the West. You visit some supermarkets, you have local eggs in the country and imported eggs, but sometimes we prefer to buy the imported ones and leave the local ones. These imported eggs, if you go to the West and ask for their price, they are very expensive there. Why, when they are in the country here, the price is less? We should think twice. There is something. Why I said these producers should connect and know what they produce. Then we can also engage the ministry as your recommendation for the ministry to stand for them, so that those importing will stop importation if they can supply the demand of the country. Because if they can also supply, it's human insecurity. So we should concentrate on that. And then I am seeing this Giraffe project is supporting so many of these farmers that you mentioned, the G farms, the Maro farms. These people are all, giving millions. And then agriculture have also connected the farmers, these corn growers. They have their platform.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Jara West. I now invite the Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me also join my colleague
to thank the committee for a wonderful report and also thank the mover of the report. Honorable Speaker, first I have an observation on the gum milling corporation. Honorable Speaker, on their finding, I think this is an error, maybe my arithmetic, but we can do it together, because they told us currently the company produce approximately 450 tons per day and produce 850,000 metric tons per year. But if you do the calculation, it will give you 162,000 metric tons per year. Because if you are producing 450 tons per day, you multiply it by 30, it will give you 13,500 metric tons per month. And if you multiply it by 12, it will give you 162,000 metric tons. And if you go further, you can see it is telling you that in the report, the goal of the company is to produce 100,000 metric tons a year. I think we need to look at that one. On the other issue, Honorable Speaker, is under the same company that is on their challenges. That letter E, they told us actually no market for animal feed in the Gambia. I was to concur with the member for Woodley. It is that they are manufacturing it to export it to Senegal, or there is no market. Because if you go to Abuko, this animal feed, they go to Senegal and get it there. So maybe the market might not be enough, but then there is a market. So, Honorable Speaker, on the challenges, Honorable Speaker, yesterday the trade minister was here. He informed us about these demurrages. And then he told us that most of the time, these demurrages, when it happens, it is transferred to the consumer. So should we be looking, or would we be not thinking another way how to remedy this situation? And then I think these are one of the reasons that the port is rented to Albarak, because of to reduce the congestion and the efficiency of the port. But for me, that alternative alone might not be enough, because what we are informed, they went to, this tour was actually to go and then meet our local producers. And then these local producers, some of them are
Can you complete that? Complete yours, what you're saying?
I will take from maybe one of the two members' recommendations. That is the issue of a private jetty. If we have these importers in the country, and then actually they have the capacity to build their own their own jetty. The people like Ja, he import rice, he import oil, he import almost all the commodities. If they have the capacity to build a jetty, why not you allocate them an area where they will go and then build a jetty, so that if their vessel come, it will just go and then anchor, rather than the vessel come and then stay here for 15 or almost 1 month without discharging. I think we should think as a nation. Okay. We should think definitely as a nation. Sometimes we don't leave everything in the hands of government. Okay. These are issues that actually we can use, and then this issue of demurrages will be a thing of the past. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Nyamina Dankunku. Honorable members, may I now call upon the mover of to respond to the issues raised and the line of the debate.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, once again. Thank you, honorable members, for your participation in this important debate. Honorable Speaker, like you said, I will just respond to the issues raised by my honorable colleagues and also one of the debate. Honorable Speaker, I will start with the member for Woolly East. I will also want to say to him welcome for the acknowledgement and also for the compliments. And he also talked about the issue of the coordination between local producers. This is indeed a concern. And I think it is very important for all local producers to come together and see how best they can come together to coordinate, especially when it comes to their supply chain, in order to address some of the challenges that they are faced with in terms of, for example, foreign exchange and other related issues. For the member from Same, you are also welcome. I can remember we also visited your constituency, but you also asked about a very important question concerning, whilst on the report it is stating that most of the employees, when it comes to NISEM milling company here in Banjul, is employing people from Banjul, and they are still faced with challenges. The challenges that were raised during the visit was that it's not about the lack of having access or employing young people from Banjul, but most of the time when they employ these young people, they don't turn up when it's time to work. So this is always a challenge. And you know, it is a factory that has its own target on a daily basis in terms of production. So you must get manpower in order to produce what you have to produce per day, which is very important to them. So that is why they mention about the challenges when it comes to the issue of employment. You also talk about the produce by Jar farms in your constituency, for that matter. I will want to inform you, as stated on the report, it was a pilot project for Jar farms to see what was doable and what capacity they should improve on in order to increase their production. So in terms of the pricing also, I agree with you, it is very important, but as far as it was for piloting, we deemed it necessary just to understand the integrity of what happened. And according to him, it was a successful one because it wasn't much hectares that he cultivated, but few. But at the end of the day, he's sure with his team that with the current infrastructural development that is currently going on there, when they start, because to us, they haven't started yet, but when they start, they will be able to employ at least 1,000 people, as they told us during the meeting we had with them at their office in Brikama. The member for Sandementarang.
Honorable, you have to summarize your responses
because
we are out of time.
Okay, I will do that. When it comes to the member for Sandementarang, she just acknowledged the progress of the report and asked the members to adopt the report. The member for Joswang, whether we have engaged GRA. As you can see, the report is of recent. And I believe this should be a plus for the entire committee for presenting a report that is of recent. So in terms of engaging them, we have plans of engaging them as part of the challenges are concerned, especially when it comes to the delay that normally happen at the ports, which is indeed very important. And when it comes to the issue of rebagging, the milling factories that we have in the Gambia, they are not rebagging. They are manufacturing the wheat, turning it to flour, and also animal feeds. This is what they are doing, and we are able to saw everything with our eyes, because we paid a site visit to the factory and see how they were doing it. So what they do is they will import the wheat, then the wheat will be processed and turned to flour and also animal feeds. That is what they are doing. And for your information also, of recent, we find out that during our tour, NISEM is even now producing biscuits through the wheats that they are importing in this country as locally produced products. And that will be supplied to the supermarkets and also businesses. The member for Lower Salum, your contributions, we are very up, especially when it comes to the issue of demurrage. This is indeed a very big concern because during our visit or during the tour, most of the producers, what they told us was the issue of the delay that they face when it comes to their goods at the port, which is indeed a very big concern, and we must see how best we can work and resolve that issue. The member for Fonyi Kansala, thank you for the comment, and also the issue of whether we visited markets. If you look at the report, we said visited sites in bracket markets, meaning, for example, Moro Farms, they produce the rice. After production, they do their own marketing. So they do their own sales and marketing at their own premises there. So these are the markets that we also had the opportunity to visit. The member for Jara Central, who double as the chair of the committee, we also appreciate your leadership and also thank you for delegating me and the entire team to embark on this important tour. The member for Nyamija, Nyamina West, your appreciation is well acknowledged, and the issue of preparing the ground is very key, because if you go to Moro Farms, this is one of the key challenges that they are faced with. And in order for them to improve their production, there is need to make sure that the field is being prepared and prepared very well for production. You also mentioned about demurrage, which I've already responded to. Member for Combo East, you were part of the delegation. Thank you for joining us. And also employing the parliament to approve the recommendation and the entire report that is presented by the committee. The member for Serakunda also, we acknowledge your contribution and also understanding that local production is not only the agriculture side, but the purpose of what we wanted to know during this tour is what is locally produced and consumed. That is the purpose of this tour. But notwithstanding, it is also very important to venture if the parliament can give us another opportunity to go and see, to meet the carpenters and others. And that will be very important as far as our oversight function is concerned. The member for Fonyi Brefen, you mentioned about the Gambia Songhai initiative, which is indeed a very important initiative by the Gambian government. I'm currently at North Bank region. When it comes to the students that normally pass through the training, at the end of the day, they are always given grants to start up. They cannot be given much to start up. And according to the director who is currently managing the facility, did inform us that some of these young people that pass through the programs currently are doing extremely well when it comes to local production, especially when it comes to agriculture. And he has been receiving feedbacks because he normally also provides guidance whilst they are even out of the program or graduated from the program. The member for Jara West also, we appreciate your acknowledgement, and your emphasis of local production is very apt, because the thing is, if we make good use of our local produce, that will also help us as a country, because at the end of the day, we will always get the right varieties, especially when it comes to consumption. The member for Nyamina Dankunku, you did mention about the issue of the arithmetic that was featured as far as GMC is concerned in terms of their production. According to the report that we presented, we said on a daily basis, but it doesn't mean on a weekly basis. They might produce, let's say, 6 days in a week. So that is the calculation that was submitted. But notwithstanding, if our maths will serve us right, I think it can be revisited and see whether the calculation was correct. But I think the justification is that they don't provide or produce rather 365 days, but instead they produce 6 days per week. That is what they do. The issue of the jetty also is very apt, because your proposal, having this private jetty, is indeed very important. And I believe it's the way forward in terms of addressing the issue of demurrages that they are faced with at the ports. Because if this happens, and like you said, and other members have said, that private businesses are also committed to even finance such a project, I think the Gambian government should be ready to work with them and see it is a dream that is turned to reality, which will also help the country. Honorable Speaker, before I conclude, I will also want to seize this opportunity to thank you for giving us the opportunity through your office and also the office of the clerk once again to embark on this important tour, because we believe this tour is the way forward in terms of making sure that anything that has to do with local production or local produce in this country is being addressed. And in that regards, we believe with the report that we have just presented to the plenary will be a way forward in terms of at least playing a very pivotal role in terms of addressing issues surrounding local producers in the Gambia. In that regards, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul North and Head of Delegation. Let me thank the committee also for their timely presentation of their report. This tour was done just last month, and this month we have the report laid before us. That's highly commendable. And it is also commendable, and I think we must borrow a leaf from the Honorable Member from Banjul North, the way he delivered his report. It's voluminous, but he has given us the highlights of it. We are informed about it. The critical areas are informed, and he never took time because we only have 1 hour. It is because of that effective presentation that most people are able to participate. So I think we will borrow a leaf from him. Thank you very much. And I want to thank all honorable members who partook in the debate. Honorable members, let me now put the question. Be resolved that this honorable assembly do adopt the report of the Select Committee on Trade and Regional Integration Store to selected local producers across the country from the 10th to the 16th of February 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Once again, thank you very much. Clerk, may we proceed?
Laying of papers and reports. Report of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands and Ombudsman and IEC Oversight Visit to Institutions and Project Sites, January 29 to 6 February 2025 by the Chairperson of the Select Committee.
Honorable members, may I now invite the Chairperson of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands and Ombudsman and IEC to present their report on their oversight visit to institutions and project sites from January 29th to 6th February 2025. Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor on behalf of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, IEC and Ombudsman to lay the report of the National Assembly Select Committee on Regional Government, Land, Ombudsman and IEC from the 29th January to 6 February 2025. Honorable Speaker, to the acknowledgement, the Select Committee on Regional Government and Lands, Ombudsman and Independent Electoral Commission IEC wish to acknowledge and express appreciation for the invaluable support of all stakeholders who participated in the preliminary and subsequent activities of the committee in the execution of the oversight function as contained in the report. The committee wishes to extend its profound gratitude to the National Assembly Service through the Office of the Clerk, the financing and providing the necessary logistical support to conduct this fundamental oversight function. This support has
enable the Select Committee to effectively and efficiently execute its mandate. Similarly, the Select Committee acknowledge the cooperation and unwavering support rendered by the officials of the institution visited, particularly members of the team that accompany the committee to all the selected project sites throughout the tour. This team provides vital information and guidance to the committee, which significantly create an in-depth understanding of the projects. Finally, the committee wishes to commend the honorable members and staff of the Select Committee for demonstrating a high sense of commitment and teamwork spirit throughout the tour. Honorable Speaker, mandate of the committee, I will refer you, you can go through it, but the objective of the tour, 1, to have an understanding of the activities of the institution visited. 2, page 4. Number 2, assess the number and types of projects at each region. 3, receive update and first-hand information on the ongoing council projects and their source of funding. 4, identify challenges and provide possible way forward for effective service delivery. Honorable Speaker, to the methodology adopted by the committee to ensure coherence in the process and accomplish the oversight exercise include the following: 1, briefing session; 2, presentation; 3, question and answer session; and 4, field visit. Honorable Speaker, to the introduction, the oversight is one of the core functions of any parliament. It enables them to examine, create issues, critical issues within the public space, assess an effective implementation of policies, laws, and programs, have an insight to the challenge, and make relevant recommendations for the effective delivery of government services. Therefore, cognizant of this importance of decentralization, land matters, religious affairs, and effective electoral process, the committee deemed it necessary to embark on a nationwide tour to have an understanding of the visit activities, achievement, and challenges of institution and department within its purview. It is important to note that during the tour, the committee had engagement with the following institutions: the Ministry of Lands and its various departments, the Office of the Executive Coordinators, Banjul and Kanifing, Regional Office of the IEC, Supreme Islamic Council and the Christian Council, as well as various area councils of the respective region. The committee visited the various project sites to receive updates on the progress and challenges encountered. Based on the insight gained from the field visit, the committee was able to make the following observation and findings. So, Honorable Speaker, I will refer the honorable members to go through the findings. And so the committee visited the Ministry of Land and Regional Government as the parent body ministry. So there are challenges, Honorable Speaker, of the ministry on availability of functional real estate bill. 2, inadequate budget support to conduct cadastral mapping. To the Office of the Non-Governmental Organization, that is the NGO affairs. The findings are there, you can go through it. The challenges: inadequate cash allocation from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs to manage affairs of the agency. 2, some NGOs engage in exploiting communities for their own gains. 3, lack of adequate consultation between NGO affairs and the Ministry of Justice in scrutinizing and registering NGO applications. To the Office of the Executive Coordinator, Banjul, the committee visited the office. The challenges, Honorable Speaker: 1, lack of office complex in the current office is lack of office complex as the current office is housed in the National Audit Office. 2, inadequate staff and mobility as the office has only one vehicle. 3, the salaries of the Deputy Executive Coordinator are not commensurate with the salaries of the Deputy Governors. So the committee also visited Banjul City Council. That's the findings. You can go through it. So I'll go straight to the challenges of the Banjul City Council. 1, lack of functional ward development structure in some wards. 2, the councillors are not considered for salaries and retirement benefits. 3, the council do not benefit from mandatory subvention of 25%. 4, the local government service commission is not decentralized. Honorable Speaker, the committee also visited the Department of Physical Planning and Housing. So, to their challenges, capacity gaps. 1, capacity gaps negatively impact staff performance. 2, interference of top government in the operation of the department. 3, the archaic legal tool cannot address the issue of modern realities, that is the Physical Planning Regulation and Act. 4, the head office building complex has not been renovated for years and it is in bad shape. 5, there are no adequate office for regional staff. 6, building permit and land use charge fee are very minimal. 7, lack of Land and Survey Act and National Housing Plan. 8, lack of legal framework to regulate real estate agencies and their operations. Honorable Speaker, to the Department of Lands and Survey, challenges. 1, budgetary constraint to meet the demand of capacity building. 2, insufficient work tool, mobility, desktop, computer, etc. 3, software used for cadastral plan are not available. 4, lack of risk allowance for staff conducting survey and cadastral mapping. 5, the department could not access funds from the Ministry of Finance to send staff for overseas training. Honorable Speaker, to the Department of Community Development, challenges. Insufficient funding to support community-based development, example, TESITO projects. 2, inadequate fuel supply to effectively cater to these different layers. 3, no direct funding to support the appropriate technology unit activity. 4, no direct funding for capacity development of the decentralized structure, that is the VDC and WDCs and VDCs. 5, insufficient mobility van for the RDI to support operations. Honorable Speaker, to the Office of the Executive Coordinator, Kanifing Municipality, challenges. 1, insufficient human and material resources. 2, inability to closely collaborate with other institutions, especially KMC. 3, unavailability of review land policy. 4, there is no utility vehicle. Honorable Speaker, to Kanifing Municipal Council, the committee also visited the council, KMC. Challenges, 25% mandatory development fund not paid by the government. 2, properties are not evaluated. 3, lack of coordination and consultation in project implementation by council and some government institutions overlapping. 4, limited market set for women vendors and no standard drainage system at the Latrikunda Sabiji market. 5, unavailability of preservation mechanism at the market. Honorable Speaker, to the Office of the National Hajj Commission, challenges, lack of sufficient fund to manage activities. 2, unavailability of Hajj Act 3, lack of official vehicle. Equally, Honorable Speaker, the committee also visited the Supreme Islamic Council, and their challenges are: 1, lack of legal empowerment for the operational framework of the council. 2, the council is not empowered to regulate other Islamic organizations that are both within and outside the country. 3, inadequate subvention to manage the affairs of the council. 4, lack of Islamic endowment fund. 5, lack of salary and allowances for council staff. 6, the conflict that exists between traditional and cultural belief greatly hampered their work. Honorable Speaker, from there we go to the Christian Council. Challenges: lack of recognition for the national functions. 2, inadequate salaries and allowances for council staff. 3, lack of legal framework for council to regulate, that is the Christian Council, other churches and Christian denominations. Honorable Speaker, to the Independent Electoral Commission, the committee visited their new offices in Yarambamba. The challenges that they face are: 1, inability to learn to build a large office space. 2, the communities are not sensitized about the news expansion and in which areas they fall under, as far as the office is concerned. 3, lack of mobility for the office. Honorable Speaker, from there we went to the committee visited the Brikama Area Council. Unfortunately, that day there was a fire outbreak, so we were not able to do anything but to visit the project, the site. So challenges they face are: 1, lack of adequate funds to embark on the construction of additional new building at the council. This is a visit that we did based on the recommendation of FPAC for the committee to go and visit the building, which we did. Congested market space. 3, affected market vendors are in their need of support to continue their businesses. 4, improper market management system. Honorable Speaker, to the Community Development Regional Office in Brikama, the challenges that they face are: 1, insufficient required material have hampered production. 2, inadequate budget support. 3, lack of mobility for transportation of raw materials and finished products. Honorable Speaker, the committee also equally visited Sibanor Village Development Committee as a sampling to at least take them as a sample for them to show us some of the activities that they do as an effective and well-structured VDC. Some of the challenges that they face are: 1, faulty coos milling machine. 2, insufficient source of water in the women's garden. 3, lack of consultation regarding ward development contracts. 4, high salinity in the women's garden. Honorable Speaker, then from there we went to the Rural Development Institute. The challenges are: 1, blatant disregard for contract timeline and poor construction. As far as the project is concerned, there is an ongoing project that is going on there. For almost so many years, the contractor couldn't finish it, and the way the project is going is not encouraging at all. 2, lack of enough funds to manage the affairs of the institution, including student stipend. Honorable Speaker, to Mansa Konko Area Council, challenges: lack of standard road from Soma to Sankuya village. 2, not much stakeholder sensitization is done about the hospitality center, because they have a hospitality center that is running right now. 3, insufficient fund to better manage the business of the center. So from there, Honorable Speaker, Janjambure Area Yambura Area Council and the project site. You allow me to read this one because we had a bad experience there. So the select committee could not conduct any activity with the council staff as the chairman, the deputy chairman, and as well as the councillors were not found on the ground, even though they were informed of the visit. It was the CEO and some staff, not some staff, in fact, yes, some staff who welcomed the delegation. It is important to note that the same council demonstrated unruly behavior and lack of compliance on the same committee during the 2022 nationwide tour. Therefore, their absence led to the postponement of discussion and cancellation of project site visit within the jurisdiction. The committee members deemed this behavior as a no-show situation and felt very disappointed. Thus, they decided to report the matter to the National Assembly for redress. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, to the Independent Electoral Commission Regional Office in Wasu is a new office that they opened. The challenges are: 1, insufficient, equitable, and accessible service delivery. 2, insufficient funds to carry out more office expansion program. 3, lack of more awareness creation about the new office creation. Honorable Speaker, conclusion. This report has summarized the outcome, finding, recommendation of the first phase of the oversight of the Select Committee on Regional Government Lands, Ombudsman and IEC. This covers the institution engaged and scrutinized as per the mandate vested on the committee by Section 109, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, following through deliberation during the visit to the institution and department and the information received at the project site visited. The committee concludes that the institution under its purview are committed to delivering quality service to the Gambian people. Notwithstanding, the committee noted that the institution works are being challenged by policy gaps, weak revenue generation, and weak human resource capacity. It is important to note that average Gambians are not aware of the nature and scope of the work of these institutions. In this regard, the committee recommends for an integral approach to amalgamate resources mobilization and capacity building with strategic community outreach program. Honorable Speaker, so to the general recommendation, honorable members, you can go through the general recommendation under Ministry of Regional Government and Lands. 1, real estate bills should be enacted so that Ministry of Local Government and Lands can effectively check the operation of real estate activities. 2, also, more budget support should be considered to enable the ministry to conduct cadastral mapping. Under the Office of the NGO Affairs, recommendation 1, the NGO Affairs should be more proactive in coordinating and monitoring NGOs in the country. 2, the Ministry of Justice should collaborate with Office of the NGO Affairs to scrutinize application before registration. To the Office of the Executive Coordinator Banjul, the general recommendations are: 1, an office complex should be created. 2, salaries of Deputy Executive Coordinator should commensurate with that of the Deputy Governors. 4, the office must make effort to engage and closely collaborate with all institutions under its purview. Honorable Speaker, to the general recommendation of Banjul City Council, ward councillors must ensure that ward development committees are functional and effective. 2, councillors should be considered for salary and retirement benefits. 3, councillors should benefit from full payment of mandatory subvention of 25%. Honorable Speaker, Department of Physical Planning, recommendations. 1, there is a need to capacity assessment to be conducted to determine the required trainings needs for the department. 2, the Physical Planning Act need to be reviewed to meet the needs of the current realities. 3, building permit and land use charge need to be increased. Honorable Speaker, to the Department of Lands and Survey, recommendation 1, the institution needs sufficient office equipment in order to enhance performance. To the Department of Community Development, recommendation 1, sufficient funding is needed to support community-based development initiatives. Example, Tesito initiatives. Office of the Executive Coordinator, Kanifing Municipality, recommendation 1, Office of the Coordinator should collaborate with all institutions under its purview. Kanifing Municipal Council, the general recommendations are 1, property evaluation should be conducted to enhance council revenue collection. 2, there should be coordination and consultation in project implementation by council and government institutions to avoid overlapping. 3, Latrikunda Sabiji Market Site needs expansion to accommodate more vendors, and preservation mechanism should be provided for the safekeeping of produce. To the Office of the Hajj Commission, recommendation 1, National Hajj Act should be reviewed in order to meet the challenges of current realities. Supreme Islamic Council recommendations are: the council needs empowerment to regulate Islamic organizations in the country. 2, insufficient fund is needed to enable the council to manage its affairs. To the Christian Council, recommendation 1, the council needs empowerment to regulate churches and other Christian organizations in the country. 2, sufficient fund is needed to enable the council to manage its affairs. Honorable Speaker, to the Independent Electoral Commission, new office in Yarambamba, recommendation 1, the commission needs more mobility for newly created offices. 2, IEC should conduct more awareness creation on the new office complex. Honorable Speaker, Brikama Area Council recommendations are: 1, the victim of the inferno at Brikama Market should be supported to regain their losses. 2, the market space should be better managed in order to avoid the occurrence of such miserable incidents. Community Development Regional Office in Brikama, Honorable Speaker, recommendation 1, the office needs mobility for transportation of raw material and finished product. Rural Development Institute, that is the RDI, the recommendations are: 1, the contractor must be summoned for questioning regarding his failure to meet contract timeline and poor construction work. 2, adequate funds should be given to RDI for sufficient service delivery. 3, Rural Development Institute need additional vehicle, possibly a van, to support operations. Honorable Speaker, to the Mansakonko Area Council, recommendation 1, the community needs more sensitization about the hospitality center. And last but not the least, the Janjambure Area Council project site, the chairman of Janjambure Area Council and all its councillors, his councillors should be summoned, that is the recommendation, should be summoned by the National Assembly for questioning over the no-show situation that they caused at the time of the visit. So, honorable members, the members of the committee are Honorable Suleiman Jami, my humble self, Chair, Honorable Keba Jallo, Vice Chair, Honorable Keba Kebaro, Member, Honorable Musa Baji, Member, Honorable Omar Diop, Member, Honorable Ibrahim Jete, Member, Honorable Aliou Balde, Member, Honorable Isa Conte, Member, Honorable Abdoulaye Njai, Member, Honorable Alaji Babu Sise, Member, Honorable Dauda Jeng, Member, Honorable Kemo Gassama, Member, and we have our support staff, Ms. Fatou Jiba, Committee Clerk, Mrs. Fatoumata Keita, Committee Clerk, Mrs. Fatoumata Kesi Saho, Research Officer, Mrs. Musa S. Sise, Communication Officer, and Abdullah Bondi, the Subject Matter Specialist. Mr. Sana Tarawale is the driver. So, honorable members, honorable Speaker, so these are the members of the committee who make this tour a successful one. On behalf of the committee, I therefore move that the Assembly consider and adopt this report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson of the committee. Honorable members, any seconder? Honorable member for Kiang West.
Thank you very much. I'm in a haze. Without putting on the mic, I started speaking. Honorable Speaker, let me definitely submit my sincere appreciation to the committee and for this great work. Through the chairperson of the committee and to the support staff, thank you very much for your commitment to these national duties. Honorable Speaker, going straight to the report, I rise to second the motion, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, I want to use this opportunity to take part in the debate. Page 25 of the report on the Janjanbureh Area Council. Honorable Speaker, it has been quite unfortunate that the report highlights the non-compliance of a whole council who boycotted meeting the members of the parliament, even having been informed of the visit. They still refused to sit and receive the committee and hear from them. Honorable Speaker, it is highlighted in the report that this council did the same thing in 2022, which means this is the second time they did this action to the National Assembly. But Honorable Speaker, on your permission, I may refer the National Assembly to Section 102 of the Constitution of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. Section 102, additional functions of the National Assembly. Under this, it says, in addition to other powers conferred on the National Assembly by this Constitution or any other law, the National Assembly may receive and review reports and activities of the government and such other reports as are required to be made in accordance with this Constitution. Review and approve proposals of the raising of revenue by the government. Examine, examine the accounts and expenditures of government and other public bodies, funds by public monies, and the reports of the Auditor Generals thereon. Honorable Speaker, the main point I'm trying to highlight here is the visit of the National Assembly to the Council was mandated by the Constitution. So for the Council failing to receive them, let me refer the National Assembly to Section 1010 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. 110, rather, sorry. Section 110, that is contempt of the National Assembly. Contempt of the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, 110 reads, any act or omission which obstructs or impedes the National Assembly in performance of its functions, or which obstructs or impedes any member or officer of the National Assembly in discharge of his or her duties, or affronts the dignity of the National Assembly, shall be a contempt of the National Assembly, and in addition to any liability in respect thereof under the criminal law. Honorable Speaker, this is an institution that has clearly violated the Constitution, by disallowing the members of the National Assembly to interact with them, to perform oversight on the government resources, to perform oversight on the representatives of the government. Section 110 is telling them that this is a contempt of the House. This is the contempt of the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, on this point that I'm submitting, I want to move that this said council be summoned in the National Assembly and to answer questions with respect to this, or we sanction them. Because this cannot happen twice. Officers must respect this House. And let me say this on record, that citizens must know that this House is empowered by the Constitution to perform oversight on all the public institutions. So anybody who obstructs that, an assembly, let's maintain our position. This is not the first time this happened. Trade committee went on a tour, they experienced this. Report was laid here with respect to food trading. Another committee went, local government went to Janjamura Area Council 2022, it happens. They went back there 2024 or 2023, it happens. What is happening? Can't we take our position, National Assembly members? Honorable Speaker, let me go straight to another point that I want to highlight. That is under Rural Development Institute, page 23, RDI. Honorable Speaker, on the Rural Development Institute, the committee, the second paragraph, the committee was received by the principal of the institution and was taken on a conducted tour for the construction site. Honorable Speaker, may I take you through this one? It says, they highlighted that the contract was to be completed within 1 year. But unfortunately, it has now taken over 4 years and work is still in progress. He expressed dissatisfaction with the work and the pace it has been taken. Honorable Speaker, in this country, members of the parliament, last week we had looked at a report by Foreign Affairs Committee. Public funded institutions. Foreign Affairs Committee, millions of national resources was spent on a project at Bissau Embassy Complex. Nothing was done. Another report is highlighting that a project which is supposed to take 1 year has now taken 4 years. 8 out of 10 public funded projects in this country are unfinished on time. 8 out of public funded projects in this country are finished on time. What do we do about this? Are we going to continue like this? Honorable members, we need to know the contractor and what led to the delay of the construction or the project. We need to know that, and who is this contractor, what has been done about it, so that we can look at the challenges with respect to public funded projects, so that we can have value for money for Gambians. Honorable Speaker, lastly, let me take you to page 8 for the executive coordinator and page 14 for the executive coordinator of Banjul and Kanifing Municipal Council. They both highlighted serious challenges. Let me take you through some of these challenges under these said executive coordinators. Honorable Speaker, challenges under the executive coordinator of Banjul: lack of office complex, as the current is housed in the National Audit Office, inadequate staff and mobility, as the office has only 1 vehicle, the salaries of the deputy executive coordinators are not commensurate with that of the deputy governors. That is for Banjul, executive coordinator. Go to page 14 for that of Kanifing. The challenges are in page 15. Challenges, insufficient human and material resources. 2, inability to closely collaborate with other institutions, especially KMC. Unavailability of reviewed land policy. There is no utility vehicle. We don't have funds for these executive coordinators. On record, tell them we don't have funds for them. You are seeing that even the local councils that we have, the law mandated us and the government to give them 25% of their 60% development fund, which is not forthgoing, and it is highlighted in this report. The president went and created these executive coordinators politically, not on the interest of those particular regions or the councils, not on the interest of the citizens of those various regions. And now they are crying for resources here. All the public institutions, ministries, all the government subsectors are crying for government resources. You have seen our budget distress we have here. We have more than 4 billion budget deficit that we have to take loans to, to finance those things.
Honorable, please summarize.
When to do this?
Honorable, please summarize.
Just to try
Just
to
have 1 hour.
in the country.
Honorable, please summarize. We have 1 hour for the whole show. If the report is laid in summary, your contribution should be summarized.
Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, I want to submit to the President on record that these challenges are demonstrations that this office is not fit for creation, as their functions are done by other public officers. So therefore, he just created them politically, but not on the interest of this country. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
It's been seconded, eh? Honorable members. Honorable Member for Kian West, thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, and Ombudsman and IEC on their oversight visit to institutions and project sites from January 29th to 6th February 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I have a list of members who want to partake in the debate. We have about, as usual, we will just give you 3 minutes. We have more than the time we have. I will try to see whether we can squeeze everybody on board. If not, we'll stop where I will now call honorable members. It is 3 minutes. Take care of the 3 minutes. Banjul North.
Thank you very much once again, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will want to seize this opportunity to commend the committee, the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands, Ombudsman, and Independent Electoral Commission of the Parliament under the leadership of the chairperson of the committee, and also commend the mover of this motion for this important and also comprehensive report. Honorable Speaker, there are so many things that are mentioned as far as this report is concerned, but I will just dwell on just few. And I'll be very specific, especially when it comes to the issue surrounding the 25% of the 60% development fund that the government is supposed to give to councils as part of their annual budgets, which is not forthcoming. And I believe this has been a problem since the enactment of this law. And I think it is high time because it keeps on coming every time. And looking at the entire situation is now evident that it is important to see this 25% as mandated by the Local Government Act 2002, Section 128, subsection 3, that talks about the central government shall, and not me, but shall give 25% of the development funds to all councils. Honorable Speaker, the other important thing has to do with nominated members in council. I can remember there was a private member bill that was presented here in Parliament and was rejected. And the excuse was there was going to be an overview.
It was not rejected.
Not the first one, I mean. Not this one, the first one. Yeah, it was rejected. Because I can still remember that I attended that session and I talked about the issues surrounding nominated members in council, which is indeed very important. Honorable Speaker, if you see why they are nominated members, it's because they are very important, understanding that they are also one part or one organ of council. Because in council, you have two organs, the administration and the council. The administration led by the CEO, the council led by the mayor. So having nominated members, not having the right to vote, especially understanding what they represent, especially, for example, I can say the youth councillor. The youth councillor for Banjul is representing the entire young people of Banjul in the city council in terms of making decisions on behalf of young people. So if he doesn't have the right or she doesn't have the right to vote, especially when it comes to council proceeding, I see no use of even nominating him, not to talk of other nominees in council. Honorable Speaker, going
One minute. Thank you, Honorable Member for Banjul North. I now invite the Honorable Member for Talending Kunjang.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is the time will not allow anyone to reveal or to reiterate some of the disheartening information in this report. We just take effort quickly to brush on some of them. And I want to start my speech by talking about the physical planning and lands and survey. Honorable Speaker, these two departments are very important in any country. Anything we have in this country is on land. Any other thing, all the natural resources are on land. Anything we talk about, roads are on land. But the departments that are managing this land are the most neglected in the entire institutions in this country. And this explains why we are still where we are after 60 years of independence. Now, if you go there, even desktop, they don't have. They don't have the tools to do the kind of urban planning they need to do. How do you expect them to plan for this country? They don't have the software to do even the cadastral mapping that the government is trying to campaign. So how do you expect the Gambia to move if people who are going to design the infrastructure of this country don't have capacity? The people who are supposed to train, the technical expertise they need, they are not trainable in these institutions. They don't. Gambia universities don't offer them. They need to go overseas, Ghana and elsewhere. There's no package, sponsorship package from the government for them. All the funds are all centralized at Ministry of PMO, and if you write it, it becomes difficult to access it. How do we move as a country if we want to do urban planning, proper town planning, if these fundamental institutions are not empowered? Mr. Speaker, I want to talk about some of the innovations that are happening in these municipal councils. I was very happy to discover that a council like Kanifing has considered Kanifing municipal library, which is not equal to any library in this country. Our national library, go there. During the rainy season, you step on stone to enter the national library. It's a shame to introduce this natural library to anyone. That shows how unprepared we are to advance education, to advance research in this country. We must, the chair of the education committee, go and visit library of Kalifik and let us all together push government to ensure that they emulate these things. LRR should have a library, buses should have a library, Northam should have a library to give students the opportunity to access materials, educational materials, to read, to give them access to research. Go to this, you have all the software, all the gadgets that are there. West Coast as well. Who would have imagined that councils, you know,
Okay, take 30 seconds.
here we mentioned about the time it took, but not only that, considering that 75% of the funds have already been disposed, but go and see the construction. Tiles are spilling off or depleting, the wires are dangling, the ceiling is falling. Go and see the painting. This is embarrassing, Mr. Speaker. And the government and an institution of government is the supervisor there. Honorable Joshua, if you go there, you will cry as a contractor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Talinding Kunja. I now invite the Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First, I want to stand on existing protocol to thank the committee for a job well done. I think this is very important and is needed. Going straight to the point, Honorable Speaker, I will go to page 5, where we have the Ministry of Land. And if you look at the challenges they made mention of, that is the unavailability of functional real estate bill and inadequate budget support to conduct cadastral mapping. And if you look at the Department of Physical Planning, Lands and Survey, they are all under the ministry. There is always going to be what we call a trickle-down effect, because up to today, the long-awaited land policy has not been in this parliament, and we've been advocating for this. But the issue of the real estate cannot be completely done in the absence of the land policy. And if you look at the land in the country, all the problems, the second timing bomb in this country are land-related issues. All over the country, every region, there are land crises. How do we even acquire land in this country? It's going to be very difficult without a land policy. From 1965 to date, we are unable to produce a land policy. We even made an attempt in the 2021 budget bilateral with the ministry, at least to put in something so that anytime there is a donor funding, we can have a counterpart contribution that is already catered for. But I want to believe that this is not a priority of the ministry. If not, they will start and put in there during their bilateral with the finance ministry before they come here. And the second aspect is the cadastral mapping. The digitalization you're talking about will not be accomplished in the absence of this. We need to have serious land banking in agricultural, industrial, and for the estate developers. But if you look at the trend in which the estate developers are encouraging on our agricultural land, it's very unfortunate. So the long-awaited land supposed to be around. And going forward, I'm very much happy you were able to go to Brikama, which coincided with the fire outbreak. And in fact, I want to at least thank you for going to Brikama at that crucial moment. It's very unfortunate that we are saying the Brikama market cannot be built in piecemeal. And we have to remember the Brikama market is for the entire West Coast and beyond. It's important every year. One of the most vulnerable markets in the whole country is Brikama. On annual basis, we are facing with fire outbreaks. In 2021, we were able to put in 100 million to overhaul the entire Basse market and construct it to the fullest. Why can't we have the same model for Brikama in order to avoid these fire outbreaks? This is very serious and we have to address it. One of the most strategic towns and the biggest town in the country should be given its due when it comes to resource allocation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Brikama South. I now invite the Honorable Member for Kombo East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I must commend the mover of this motion, the Honorable Jammeh, for coming up with such a report. Honorable Speaker, I must put it to this committee. I would want clarity here. Looking at the objectives of the tour, objective number 1, page 4 of the report reads to say the objective of the oversight visit are as follows: to have an understanding of the activities of the institutions visited. Honorable Speaker, looking at this, comparing it with the statements that have been put, I haven't seen any of the activities that has been reported here, ongoing activities that have been reported here, especially those activities that are ongoing within the Brikama Area Council and some other municipalities. But it only stated to show the constraints the municipalities and the councils are facing, and we would want to know what activities are ongoing there currently. On that note, sir, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Kombo East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I also want to thank the committee, members, clerks, and all the witnesses who helped them in producing this report. Honorable Speaker, when we look at the objective of the report, number 2, assess the number and type of projects at each region. Number 3, receive updates and first-hand information on the ongoing council projects and their sources of funding. Honorable Speaker, I just want to ask the mover, the other councils that they did not visit, is it that there is no ongoing project in those areas? Honorable Speaker, in the report also, when you look at it, you realize that the issues of councillors are mentioned. That is, they did not have salaries, neither retirement benefits. Honorable Speaker, most of these councillors, they have been in council for 3 terms, 15 years, and after their retirement, they don't have anything. I think the committee should try and engage the ministry so that they can try and come up with a review of the Local Government Act 2022 that is going to take care the issues of the councillors, because they are also very important. Honorable Speaker, they are elected by the people, so they should be well recognized by the institution and by the government. Honorable Speaker, when we look at the report also, we said that there are 2 types of NGOs. You have the local one and also the international ones. And they have clearly stated the challenges in those areas, like exploiting communities for their own gains. But Honorable Speaker, what I would like to ask in those NGOs at the local level, didn't you look at the welfare of those workers that work there? Did you look at the welfare of the workers? Honorable Speaker, when we look at the Department of Land and Survey, in the challenges, they have stated that they always want to go for overseas studies. And it is mentioned that those areas that they want to learn are not available in the Gambia. They can only learn those areas when they go outside. I think very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sami. I now invite the Honorable Member for Lower Salum.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the floor. I also give my colleagues and thank the chairperson and the committee members. Honorable Speaker, I just try to emphasized on the member for Kiang West. And again, it's also a matter that he raised emotions, and there was no adequate decision at your side whether the motion is admitted or not. The behavior of the...
Who raised the motion?
Kiang.
No, he never raised the motion.
Yeah, he raised. Yeah,
No.
he raised.
No,
He-
you cannot
he
raise.
said me.
You cannot raise a motion without the leave of the speaker. You cannot. He cannot. He intends or he wants to, but he has not raised a motion.
Okay, Honorable Speaker, thank you for that clarity. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The reason why I'm doing so, this institution has to be respected, no matter where you belong to. The Parliament's work has to be respected, Honorable Speaker. How can an entire council that this associate themselves from the lawmakers, trying to know the concern, trying to know the problems in that councils, you refuse to adhere to that request. I think, Honorable Speaker, we need to make a decision out of this. Not only Janyambure councils, area councils. This is across the board. This parliament has to be respected. You cannot call witnesses. They deceive themselves coming to attend committees meetings. Honorable Speaker, the member raised a particular subject, contempt. Actually, I think the chairperson and the committee, they recommended that they need to call the council in order. I think forthwith we have to make so they call them in order. If they refuse to acknowledge their request, then the contempt of parliament can come in. Honorable Speaker, I think this emphasis that I want to take, before taking my time, I want to raise, I want to take my seat, but then with emphasis, they have to respect parliament. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Salum. Honorable members, we have exhausted our time and we still have a lot more. At the same time, we have the Honorable Member to wind up the respond to issues and wind up the debate. And we have already gone after 1 hour. So it's unfortunate. We will have to stop here. No, the previous one, I don't know, why should I treat this one special? I have given more than the time. Actually, it's already 1 hour gone, and we are not ready. So, honorable members, just bear with us. You have heard the report, you have heard the comments.
Honorable Speaker,
we will look at the issues. Who is shouting?
I'm not shouting, I'm talking.
You are shouting?
No, it's the mic. I'm saying motion.
Pardon?
Honorable Speaker, motion. I said so. Anyhow.
Members.
Yes.
So, we will have to stop here. And then, before I put the question, there are important decisions to be made by you. We will look at those things, and then I put the question. So I will now invite the mover, the chairman of the committee, to respond to issues raised and wind up the debate. Please summarize.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for once again for giving me the floor. I want to thank all the honorable members who participated and who have taken their time to listen to the deliberations. First, to the member for Chiang West, he appreciated the committee stress about the no-show that Janjambure Area Council did, which the committee is going to do something about with the in collaboration with this August Assembly. He also talked about the additional function of the National Assembly by the Constitution, which was violated by the Janjambure Area Council. Okay, also he talked about the contract which has delayed for 4 years, which is really a concern, in fact. So based on our recommendation, we really want to pursue to ensure that the contractor, he do what he's supposed to do. So he also talked about the challenges of the Banjul, both the Carnifing and Executive Committee. Basically, right now, with their vehicle issue, the deputy governors, they already received their official vehicles. So what they are claiming now is operational vehicles. So both the lack of utility vehicle, yes, now that's what they are requesting now. So to the member for Banjul North, commend the committee, talk about the 25% subvention. I think this is an issue. Anytime we go on tour, this is one of the things that councillors normally talk about. And I think with our collective responsibility, we should be able to ensure that, you know, the ministry, they put it in the budget so that at least they can come up with a framework so that at least how they will be spending the 25% subvention. If yes, they can at least try to see the possibilities, either to identify a particular project and they pump the amount there, or anyhow, because this is something that is really, which is really, you know, alarming, because the thing is, anytime we go, is one of the things they talk about.
Honorable, please summarize.
To the voting right of the nominated councillors, already there is a consultant currently working on the new review of the Local Government Act, which we hope that the councillors will come up with recommendation to ensure that it is inputted in the review. So to the member of Kalinding Kunjang, he talked about the Department of Lands, the way and the manner it is, and he highlighted the success stories of some area councils like the KM, based on their library and other area councils, and the RDI project also, the delay of the RDI project. To the member for Brikama South, he discussed about the non-availability of real estate bid, which is a concern. They are working on it right now to ensure that at least we have this bill. And Karstial Mabin to avoid encouragement of people, you know, into their borderlines and stuff like that. This will, I think, if the bill comes, it will be able to help us to address that. He thanked the committee and also thank the committee for visiting the fire incident in Brikama, because the reason why we couldn't do any activity, we couldn't, you know, go to any project site, because that very day there was a fire incident, and, you know, and for that being the case, we decided we should go and, you know, show them solidarity. So to the honorable member for Sami, he said he did not see any activities. I think when you go to KMC, the committee visited the library, the assembly hall at Charles Zhao. Equally, we visited the library and the market seat that was built by KMC. Equally to Banjul also, we visited the youth monument, the youth center, and the Karab Island project. These are ongoing activities that are going in those various councils. He talked about the NGO operating in the country. Yes, basically, the NGO office is just here to regulate, but those working in those NGOs, is their responsibility to do the needful, and based on that, I think it's important for the NGO affairs to also look at that so that they can come up with policies to regulate that. Last but not the least, the member for Lower Salum also stressed about the lack of cooperation from Janjanbureh Area Council, and he also emphasized to bring them to order, which I think is very important because it's a norm for them, and we think they need to respect the assembly and the committee to ensure that at least we cooperate. Because at the end of the day, we are not doing this for a witch hunt, but we are doing it so that we collectively we can all move together to achieve the national development goal together. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, I therefore move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Bunga Kunda, Chairperson of the committee. Honorable members, let me thank all of you. But before I put the question, some critical things happen that touch the integrity of this institution. And we are the last bastion, the last hope of our people. If we fail or start lamenting on issues that are bad, we are failing our people. All the necessary powers are vested in the institution to do good for the people. Where a whole committee will go out and will be boycotted, and you are in custody of public funds. I was just briefed here that in fact this is the second time it happened, and I think they were called to parliament, they were summoned to parliament, and nothing happened. It will be done again, and you expect it will be done again and again. This must be put to an end. We have to carve a way. What I'm going to recommend to you people is to have a special select committee created for this purpose to look into it and bring and make recommendations to plenary. The composition will be determined by you, or we can take portfolios. Let's say chairpersons of committees, or whatever you want. Or we can make the recommendation that this should be looked into, how we approach it, and who are to deal with them. You can make reference to the office of the clerk or to the authority. But we have to do something. It cannot continue before we do any other thing. I think we have to settle on this one. And as soon as possible, find out and we put in remedial measures. So I will not put the question. I will now open the floor to a few comments that will direct us to what to do next. Yes, member for Lower Salum, then Opanyomi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for protecting this institution. It has to be protected by hook or hook. Honorable Speaker, you see, I agree with you 100%. We have to set an example. The powers are vested on us to do the right thing. The member for Kiang wants to move a motion, and these motions we have to, create a special committees that will not be biased. Whether it will be a party politics, no. We need to get the facts on this issue. Parliament cannot be always dragged in by a particular committee or a subject or a personals. Let's create a special committee whereby tax will be given to those people with justice, and make sure that they come out with a report that the Parliament is going to adopt. Thank you very much.
Yeah, honorable members, we are not going to discuss the merits and demerits of the whole thing. I know we are all in agreement. This is complete contempt of the National Assembly. We are all in agreement. How do we approach it? Are we going to have a special committee? Are we going to make referral to another thing? I think those are the ones I want us to do before we move a motion. Yes, Honorable Member for Upper.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, to my own opinion, we leave it with the committee as it been put in the general recommendation. The chairman of Janjambure Area Council and all his councillors should be summoned by the National Assembly for questioning over the no-show situation they caused at the time of the visit. So I think we can leave it at this and allow the committee to do their work and report to the plenary. Thank you.
My only problem is this is affecting the whole committee, the committee itself. And it has happened, it has been summoned. I think we need to look at it from a different perspective, from a holistic perspective, not only the committee, but let's have various people on behalf of the assembly look into this matter. Honorable Member for Upper.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. For me, I think, if I remember correctly, this is the second time. In fact, the last time it seems one of them wanted to fight one of the committee members, and I think we need to step in now for once and for all. And I think it's better for us to create a special committee because already the committee is part of it. So we put the committee aside. But let's have a special committee, call all of them in the parliament here and try to investigate and find out why are they behaving the way they behave. And whatever needs to be done in terms of disciplinary measures to the maximum, the parliament would put that on them. And I think we need to bring a stop to this here.
I think we now agree, do we agree that we have a special, yes? Somebody is saying no.
Baju not.
Huh?
Baju not. Baju not. Baju not.
Baju not.
Yes, please.
Yes.
I prefer we use the Bureau of Committees. That is responsible for policies.
You know what they are saying? What they are saying is, they are saying that we create a committee. All right, you know, Honorable, this is almost finished. How we approach it, we have agreed that it's contempt. We want to find out. We have agreed that the local government committee is conflicted. They cannot do, we should not let them do it. Now it should be done by us. Now there are some who are saying we create a special committee. Independent people whom we think will be entrusted with this responsibility to do it and given time to come back and report to plenary. One. And you are now coming out with a what committee? The Bureau of Committees. Yes. The Bureau of Committees to look into the whole thing. Now, are there any other opinions? Let's look at the possible these things and take one, and then we move, a motion is moved.
I think, Honorable Speaker, this provision of the recommendation by the committee pertaining to Janjambure Area Council, I believe that should be amended. We put the provision that what we are looking for. There is no need for the committee to invite these people for questioning. They are found wanting for the contempt of the assembly. And therefore, special select committee should be set to investigate the matter. That should replace this proposed amendment. When they boycotted you, you don't need to invite them for questioning. We charge them for contempt and do an investigation why they boycotted you. So that's the proposal.
That's good enough. But what we are saying is, when we come out with this, whatever we are going to take, that would automatically nullify the recommendation set in. I think what the committee is telling us, they alert our minds to what has happened. And they are recommending that. We are now looking at it from that perspective. You have said something. We put up a special committee, already is contempt. But you know, it has to go through a process to determine, was it deliberate, whatever. And then you will be able to recommend the necessary real measures. So that's where we are. Now, but our problem is, special committee, and then this what? Bureau of committees. What do we take? Yes, Honorable.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, like my colleague said, already there are committees, I believe, that can take care of this. I was suggesting the petition committee. Thank you.
No, we are not dealing with the various committees. We are identifying groups, either the Bureau of Committees that involves anybody, or we have a special committee that goes to look into it.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Honorable Speaker, I think, Lex, I can't agree more with you. This is an issue that we need to set an example. And then to me, setting up a committee will just, we already know the issue. They have done in contempt, they have done a contempt. Let's summon the chairman to come here with the councillors and he explain whatever he need to explain. Members explain whatever they need to explain. We need to set an example, Honorable Speaker. Let them come here and face members.
Oh, if they come here, it will be difficult to take a decision. No, it will be debated again. What will happen is they can come, but let the committee investigate based on their distincts. It will be here, and then they can come, and then you can deal with it. But if you bring them here, somebody says A, another person says B, another person says differently, it becomes difficult. What are you going to do?
Honorable Speaker, there is nothing to investigate here. They boycotted the committee twice on their visits. That is enough. It's already captured in the report. That is the issue that we are dealing with. Why they do so? They should come here and answer the members.
Yes, Honorable. Even if you catch a thief stealing, you don't take him to prison. You still take him, he's presumed, you still take him through a process. And then everything comes on. That's our belief. Let's hear them, because depending on how they respond, that will determine what type of punishment you want it. You need to know that. Yes, Honorable Lois Opasalu.
Yes, I was just trying to
who is sitting after him, next to you?
Yes, I was just trying to remind my colleague. Yeah, he's from there, don't worry. But no, what I'm trying to say is we cannot invite them here, because that would be like few people against 50, almost 50 people plus. So the best is to have this committee, because again, this is not only about the chairman and the councillors. We are talking about even the CEO. So this is comprehensive. Let's get the special committee to sit down and talk to them, and then report back to us, and then we take a decision on this thing.
Speaker, I have a proposal.
Honorable member for Nyamina, Dankunku.
Yeah, thank you very much, Speaker. I think the action is being committed by the Janjambure Area Council. I think what is important now is to invite the leadership. We have the CEO and we have the chairman. Then after talking to them, we will actually establish why they did not show up for twice. Rather than calling the whole council, the head of the administration is the chairman and the CEO. No, for the meantime, we invite the leadership.
Well, the authority in council is the council. The CEO, the chairman, they are all under council. And council is composed of the chairperson and the councillors. So let's get all of them here. They may say different things. Whatever the chairman may tell you, they will hear it, agree or disagree. Yes, Honorable Member for Woole East.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think I concur with you, because the other alternative that is being mentioned by Ting Talinding is the Bureau of Committees. But Bureau of Committees really deal with policy. Their direction is policy. Discuss, plan, and set the policy direction for the effective operations of committees of the National Assembly. So, but this is a special case. I think it's unique to area councils, because hardly do we go anywhere that people refuse to cooperate with us. But this is becoming repetitive. So it's better that we create a special committee to really look into the matter and report back to the Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, now we have agreed to a special committee. Now our problem is the selection. We will now refer it to the committee of selection. We now refer it to the committee of selection. They will look at independent people and then and then make the recommendations to you. Please. Is that okay? All right. Now let somebody move that motion. Yes, it was. Huh?
Kiang West.
Kiang West proposed it, isn't it?
Yes.
Kiang West, you heard what we have said?
I have.
And what we have agreed?
I have.
The motion should read that way.
Exactly. Honorable Speaker, I rise to raise a motion on 53K of the standing orders to establish a special select committee to investigate into the matters raised about Janjanbureh Area Council in the local government committee report. On the report by selecting the special select committee members by the select committee. Or the
and the report back to plenary.
And report back to plenary in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks.
No, they should select these things in 3 days. Yes. The selection committee should report to the National Assembly in 1 day, no, in 3 days. They understand that. They should go and nominate and come back. So timely follow.
Yes. Honorable Speaker, I want to add that the special select committee select the selection committee select the special select committee members in 3 days and report back to the Parliament on Monday, and from Monday in 2 weeks the special select committee to investigate the matter and report back to the Parliament.
In 2 weeks' time, we may not be in session, or very near closing the session.
Okay, before the end of the session.
I don't know. Let them do a thorough job for us. And then make sure that they report to us, so that by next session we will have taken the decision, and we will have, even probably you people, some of you would have known, and you will have of your minds, and then we will take a decision. It's never late to take a decision. Let's not just rush too much. Let's make sure that we send the correct signal. That's all.
Okay.
So the motion is for the Janjanbureh issue recommended in the local government report. Be referred to a special select committee to look into the matter and report back to Parliament within 2 months, let's say within 3 months. 3 months is to the next session. We will still have, let's say 2 months then. When I said within 3 months, it's just to make sure that it is before us next session. That's why I said within 3 months. To be reported to plenary within 3 months. Now, any seconder? Lower Salum.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to second the motions, orders 95. Thank you.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the Janjanbureh issue be referred to a select committee to be appointed by the committee of selection to investigate into the matter and report back to plenary within 3 months. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. So, honorable members, the committee of selection will meet the clerk. We will ask the clerk, will meet as soon as possible, so that the necessary TORs and other conditions can be done for you to look at them. So we now move. Now I now put the question.
Honorable Speaker.
And the honorable members, I also noted one important thing, and I think all of you talk about it. That's is it Mansa Konko, is it community center or what? RDI. I said one thing, parliamentarians cannot be lamenting over wastage and all these things. You are to solve those problems. You have contracts happening 4 years, nothing, you go and report to plenary, go back, report to plenary, the same thing every time, everywhere, nothing. That cannot continue. Then there is no need for the committees. Committees are empowered with certain powers by the Constitution. Parliament is given certain powers by the Constitution. What are you doing to make sure that these things, at least those who are found unnecessarily wanting misuse of public funds, be punished for it? We cannot just be lamenting. Every time you talk here, people will talk, at the end, it's gone. Committee chairpersons and committee members, please, these reports cannot just go with that. In fact, when these recommendations are taken to you note this thing to this amendment, when these things are reported to the relevant ministries, when the ministers come, we must take them to task on the implementation of some of these things. We cannot just be looking at these things. I remember what happened at this place, Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau. We are starting again. The people are gone with the money, nothing. Somebody else will do it, somebody will do it. That's not be National Assembly. Let's take people by the horn. This is what the people want, this is what the government wants, this is what everybody wants. So I now put the question, be resolved. No, this is on the specific on that one. This one is on the report. That motion was specific on Janjambure. We are now making a resolution on the rest of the report. Be resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Select Committee on Regional Government, Lands and Ombudsman and IEC on their oversight visit to institutions and project sites from January 29th to 6th February 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, it's now 14:06. And I think we should adjourn for prayers and come back at 14:30. It's just 24 minutes from now. But honorable members, try and come. Please, try and come. Okay, the House is suspended until 14:30.